Good morning, students. Today we will learn the summary of the first chapter, the last lesson of plus 2 class. This chapter is in Flamingo book of plus 2 class. So we will learn the summary of this chapter. As you know, Persian forces attacked France in 1817. In 1817, Persian forces attacked France. So in some district of France, French was disallowed. French language was disallowed and the teachers were asked to leave. So this is the story of such a teacher named Hamel, Mr. M. Hamel. And the narrator of the story is little Franz, who is the student of Mr. M. Hamel. So little Franz was late for school. He was afraid also because his teacher, Mr. M. Hamel, was to ask questions on participles. But Franz didn't know even a word about participle. He thought of running away from the school. He thought to spend the day out of school. The day was very fine. It was a warm day. He saw Persian soldier. He could hear Persian soldiers drilling in the open field. He could hear the chirping of birds. It was a fine day. And these sights were more tempting than to go to school. But anyhow, he hurried off to school. He passed by the town hall and he saw that people were gathered in front of the bulletin board. All bad news had come from that bulletin board for past few months or for past few years. But little Franz didn't have time to look at the board, so he hurried to his school. When he reached the school, it was unusual. It was unusual sight. Unusual sight means the sight was unusual. In what sense it was unusual? Because it was quiet. There was no noise. It was like Sunday morning. On the other day, one could hear the opening and closing of desks, students repeating their lessons, the teachers rapping the ruler on the desk or on the bench. Such sounds could be heard on other days. But today it was all quiet. Franz opened the door and he entered into the class. Mr. M. Hamel was already in the class. The students were already in their seats. But M. Hamel didn't say him anything. Hamel didn't get angry with Franz for being late. Hamel said him in gentle tone. He just asked him to go to his seat. Now, Franz was more surprised when he saw that Mr. Hamel was wearing his new dress. Because Mr. Hamel would wear the dress on special occasions. He would wear it on prizes and functions only. But today he was wearing the new dress. Then he saw that, then Franz saw that in the classroom also. The elders of his village were sitting there. Franz was confused. He couldn't understand why his teacher was wearing new dress and why the villagers were sitting in the classroom. Then his teacher started the lesson. And Mr. M. Hamel spoke in a very grave and gentle tone. What did he speak? What did he say? Mr. M. Hamel said, "This is the last lesson I shall give you." And these words were like thunderclap to Franz. Now Franz was thunderstruck. Now Franz felt sorry for not being serious in his lessons. Now he felt sorry that he would not be able to see Mr. M. Hamel in coming days. He forgot all about his cranky nature. He forgot all about his strict nature. Now he was feeling sorry. And Mr. Hamel asked a question on participles to friends. Mr. Hamel asked question to friends on participles, but friends couldn't answer. Couldn't answer. He got mixed up on very first word because he didn't know anything about the participle. Actually, Franz was not serious to his study. But Mr. Hamel didn't blame him for it. Today he didn't blame Franz for it. He didn't punish him. He just asked him to sit down. M. Hamel asked him that it was his fault also, that he was not good at his lessons. Then Mr. M. Hamel gave his lesson, gave his last lesson, we can say. He gave them writing assignments also. Now Franz also had understood that why his teacher was wearing new dress and why the elders of his village had come there. Actually, the elders of his village had come there to show their respect, to Mr. M. Hamel for his 40 years service. Means M. Hamel had given there 40 years. He had served there for 40 years. So elders had come there to show respect to Mr. Hamel as it was his last day. Now he asked them, he gave them their writing work also. Mr. Hamel gave them their writing work. He told them that the French language was most beautiful language, most beautiful and logical language. He called the French language most beautiful and logical language of the world. And he also said that when people are enslaved, they could be said to have the key of prison until they have until they have their language with them. Yeah, until they have hold their language, hold fast their language. So Mr. M. Hamel told them the importance of French language also. He told them the importance of French language, and he told them how language is an important, how does a language play an important role to get freedom. Now Franz also feeling very sorry for himself. Now books didn't seem him a burden. Now he was feeling sorry why he didn't learn his lesson, why he didn't pay attention to Mr. M. Hamel. But in today's lesson, everything was clear to Franz. When Mr. M. Hamel taught them every word, Franz understood the every word. Mr. M. Hamel, now it was prayer time, midday prayer time. The church bell struck 12. Mr. M. Hamel stand up. He wanted to speak something, but he couldn't speak. Something choked him. He only write on the board. What did he write? He only write on the board, live long French. He only write, live long French. So this is the summary of the chapter. And now we will discuss the question answers of this chapter also. We will have a recap of question answers. So first questions, where was Franz going? Franz was going to school. Why he was afraid? He was afraid because his teacher was to ask a question on participle, but he didn't know even a word about participle. The next question, what sights did he face on his way to school? So he saw Persian soldiers drilling in the open field. He could hear the chirping of the birds, and it was a very fine and wonderful day. So why did Franz, the next question is, why did Franz want to escape from school? Because it was a fine day and he didn't know anything about participles. He feared that his teacher would scold him. That's why he wanted to escape from the school. What was the news on bulletin board. So what was the news? I didn't tell you it in the summary that what was the news. The teachers announced the same news in the classroom. Mr. MML told them that order had come from Berlin. Order had come from Berlin that French will not be taught in the district of Alsace and Lorraine. Alsace and Lorraine. Alsace and Lorraine are the two districts of France. Two districts of French. So order had come from Berlin that Alsace and Lorraine will not be taught in the schools, and the French teachers were to leave next day. New teachers will come tomorrow. So these were the order which were on bulletin boards, and Mr. MML also announced these instructions, information in the classroom also. Now the next question is how the day was different from other days. On the other days, there was noise. One could hear the noise coming out from the rooms. One could hear the wrapping of ruler of teacher on the desk. One could hear the opening and closing of drawers. One could hear students repeating their lessons. But on that day, it was all quiet. There was no noise. It was quite like Sunday morning. Thus, it was different on the from the other day. The day was different from other days. Now, next question is why the villagers had come there. The villagers had come there to show their respect to Mr. Hamel for his 40 years service. They had come to show their respect to Mr. Hamel for his 40 years service. Now, the next question is why did Franz feel sorry for himself? Franz felt sorry for himself because now he will not be able to learn French language. His teacher was going next day. Now French will not be taught in their schools. He felt sorry for not being serious in his lessons. That's why he was feeling sorry. The next question is what did Mr. MML said about the French language? MML said that it was the most beautiful and logical language of the world. So these were the question answers and of this chapter. We will discuss next chapter in my next video. Thank you.